Hi there, my name is Valur Grettisson. I am apparently a YouTube star now, but in a good day I'm actually also an editor-in-chief at Reykjavik Grapevine. There are so many new viewers here. I just wanted to tell you about our magazine. It's Reykjavik Grapevine. It's an Icelandic culture magazine and a news magazine, of course. Also, we have a news site, grapevine.is. So if you want to know anything about Iceland, what's happening or whatever, just go there. The news there are much better than I say. I'm just trying to give you some context here, but it is how it is. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Also, remember our online shop if you want something. If you want a wool sweater or a cap or like a raincoat or whatever, then we have it, hopefully. And also the books. I love the books. I love to read and use it also. And we have a lot of nice books there. And finally, then I stopped selling you stuff. We are actually brought here by our dear friends at Einstök Brewery. So if you want to check out them, you can go to einstök.is. But we are here in Hafnarfjörður, my hometown, my favorite town. And I always say this to Art when I come here. This is the most beautiful town in the world. It's not, but I feel like it. So we're going to go here up to the mountain and I'm going to tell you all about the volcano. And there was an unexpected comeback also. I'll tell you a little bit about that. There is no eruption, at least not yet. Of course, there is a volcano, it's shaking, but it hasn't been shaking that much lately. Nonetheless, it has been shaking incredibly much over the weekend. So we have had we've had today from midnight, when I checked last time, we had 600 small earthquakes. The earthquakes have been spanning from 1,000 to 3,000 per day. So we are officially now closer to 20,000 earthquakes in these 10 days since everything started actually in Grettisson. And you can watch our video, of course, where we visit Grettisson. We thought it was that the shakes would stop, but they never did. So scientists are very concerned and they are now more or less convinced that there will be a volcano. There are many reasons for this, of course. But it's very obvious that these shakes are in very close connection with what's happening underground in Reykjanes, or the Reykjanes Peninsula, to be completely correct. I'll go over that also later on. What has been happening is that in Grettisson, of course, it has been very uncomfortable. The electricity went off in the town, as well as in the south of Iceland, and it was not connected to this. A lot of immigrants were very afraid of this. Also, a lot of immigrants in Iceland do not know how the situation can be. They don't have to stress too much. So if you're watching this, you live in Iceland and you've never been living near a volcano, and just keep in mind that the volcano right now in Fagradalsfjall will not be that much of a threat. There are no indications that the lava will flow to the town. But the volcano will be spectacular, that's for sure. The fire that comes out of it will probably be around 10 meters high, if not higher. It won't be a strong one, but it will be something that we notice very well. But the thing is, we're not really stressed about this mountain or this volcano. I know that there are very many news about this, and a lot of people are very stressed about it. But keep in mind, this volcano is not our headache. The reason Icelanders are following this very well, and the reason that we are kind of stressed, is not because of this volcano. It's more because of all of the other volcanoes. Oh, a lot of ravens here. Ha. So this is Ásfjall, and Ásfjall is on the edge of Hafnarfjörður. This is a very new neighborhood around this. Down here we have Ásland, or the land of aces, if you will. And down there we have Valur. It's also a district, a very young one. And you can see, if the camera is good enough, you can see there is nothing beyond that. This is where Keilir is, that's over there, and this is where the volcano will come up. So just for you to understand how close this is, it's incredibly close in many ways. So people here will have literally a volcano in the backyard, which is frightening enough. But now these things will come a little bit complicated. Where's the path? Jesus. Here it is. So we go there. So the thing is that there is not only one volcano in the Reykjanes Peninsula. There are actually 5. And if you want to be nasty about it, there are actually 6. But the 6th one is not something we're worried about, and it's way over there, like in the north. But when it gets to that, we will be in trouble. So let's not go there. First of all, we have the Reykjanes volcanic system, and you can hear like the name of this peninsula is Reykjanes. So the Reykjanes volcanic system is way far to the south. It's very close to the international airport, and there's like hundreds of years, of course, since that went off. Then we have Svartsengi, the black fields, and Svartsengi is, you know, probably very well where that is. That's where Grettisson is and the Blue Lagoon. So that's another system, 2 volcanoes. The third one is Fagradalsfjall, and that's the one over there, where Keilir is. It's by far the smallest system of them all. So when it comes up there, it's not a headache, but it hasn't erupted for 6,000 years. So we're not quite sure what will come out of it, but scientists, they think they have a pretty clear image of what this could be. And then we get to the serious stuff. Krýsuvík is by far the most dangerous area of them all. And Krýsuvík, I've seen this on YouTube often, like there have been very nice informative videos on YouTube actually about this area, and everybody call it Krýsuvík. But the thing is, when Icelanders hear Krýsuvík, we hear danger. That's pretty simple. So do not use Krýsuvík, it's Fagradalsfjall if you're gonna do the YouTube videos about the situation in this peninsula. And keep in mind, there are 5 volcanoes, and I'm only this is only the 4th I'm talking about now. But Krýsuvík will definitely affect this area here as well as this area here. For we have, of course, no idea where the volcano will come up, but it's for sure that that system is much closer to everything here. The worst possible situation would be that there will be so strong earthquakes so close to town that it could actually rip the earth open, like not by much, but it will open a little bit. And therefore you could see infrastructure and houses very badly damaged. And even like the whole neighborhood would be it will have to be evacuated in some scenarios. But keep in mind, we're not there yet. But the thing is, we know that we're gonna get there if Fagradalsfjall is going up. Because there is no coincidence that these quakes are going on and that this mountain volcano is coming up. It's not like the conspiracy theories say, it's that some God's wrath. It's nothing like that. It's simple, it's time. We know that these mountains, volcanoes, they go up every 800 years. And coincidentally, we are now 800 years from the next volcano. And as you can see here, you see perhaps better, where the sun shines, this is Krýsuvík. So if it comes up here somewhere, then you have the towns down here, or the district of Valur, which is part of Hafnarfjörður. So this is like what we're really concerned about. We're not, the mountain in Fagradalsfjall, if that goes off, that would be like a touristic eruption. We call it just turistagos, like something beautiful for the eyes and doesn't really bother anyone. But the gas, of course, could be a headache. but it will not be lethal, but it could affect these kids there. So this is perhaps not the best place to live right now, but it's a lovely neighborhood actually. Also, it's part of Hafnarfjörður, which is the most beautiful town in the world, in my opinion. Then we have Brennisteinsfjöll. I will not even try to teach you to say that word. There's a lot of weird letters in that, and it's a harsh word. Yeah, you have to go here. No, I'm gonna show you. So, Brennisteinsfjöll are the mountains here. So this is also a volcano. It wouldn't come out of the mountains, it really do here in Reykjanes, but it would probably come up somewhere around it. We would have to see where the earthquakes would land, basically. In this case, in Fagradalsfjall, all of the earthquakes are coming from the same exact place, more or less. Well, within like a few kilometers between, of course. It's not like exact same place. And scientists are incredibly, not incredibly, but they are just, they say there is a danger going on, and therefore they have closed the area around this Fagradalsfjall, and therefore you have, well, you have what they call like, we call it like danger states, something like that. Hættustig in Icelandic. So you can see here that we have one at Reykjanes, one at Svartsengi, and then we have the third one here in Fagradalsfjall, then we have one in Krýsuvík, then we have one at Brennisteinsfjöll, and if everything goes like historically, it will go even further here and go to Hengill. We made a video about Hengill not that long ago. We hiked there, me and Art. It's a beautiful place, but when that goes off, that will be the only volcano that actually have would be like a volcanic eruption. The other ones will all be fissure eruption. None of them will explode with ash and spew it over to Europe or wherever we spew it. And also, and this is very interesting actually, like in a I wouldn't say apocalyptic scenario, but this scenario is more than likely is that we could have more than one volcano active at the same time. Scientists say that there are no chances that all of them will be active at the same time, but historically we have had at least 3 at the same time. So we could have one here, one there, and one there. And to saying that like this is what the science tells us, there is nothing that indicates that this will be the case. And also, if you live in the area, don't be too stressed yet. There are no indication at this moment that anything is going off in Krýsuvík. So we're just absolutely fine right now. But worst case scenario, this will go off, and if this will go off, this will go off, and that will basically threatens also like the edges of Reykjavik at the same time. It's a unprecedented situation, and this is the reason we are like kind of stressed because of the volcano. It's not because like oh, it's just a few shakes like I've seen. I know they're not much, but if it goes off, it could change our lives here permanently. But we're not done. More bad news, right? The comeback that nobody really asked for is here. COVID is back. We've had incredible success by restraining this incredibly boring virus. And we only had like one incident in I think 12 days, almost 2 weeks. Which was wonderful. The restrictions were getting looser, and we thought we basically were gonna ride it quite comfortably out before getting the vaccine. But COVID being COVID, it had a comeback. So what happened is that there was a person that came from England and landed on our international airport. He was swiped with his PCR test, and it turns out to be negative. So, like the rules are, he had to go home, quarantine for 5 days and come back, which he did. When he came back, they realized that he tested positive. he had the virus. And not only that, but this British strain, which is very effective when spreading between people. But we thought we have caught him, right? That's so wrong. This person lived in like an apartment building, and it appears that he touched something. If it's nobody really knows what it was. The possibilities are like when you go up the staircase, what do you call it? Like, anyways, when you go up the staircase, you have to hold something, or he could have pushed the button on the elevator, and then his neighbor actually touched something and got affected. And his neighbor was actually working at Landspítalinn, our Icelandic hospital. So, not only that, but Víkingur Heiðar, our classical superstar. You can just Google the man, he is an absolutely phenomenon. He was having the biggest concert on earth the other day with 800 people. And that was very well controlled in any ways. But this person working at Landspítalinn decided to go to that concert where 800 other people were gathered. So yeah, feel afraid yet. But the good thing is, he was actually, when he realized that he got it shortly afterwards, all of the people that were actually in the concert were in numbered seats with names and everything. And everybody had masks on. So, everybody have been instructed to go and get tested now. And the people that sat around him, the patient, have to go and quarantine right now. And of course, will be tested. The people at Landspítalinn has already been tested, and nobody was positive, thankfully. Not yet, though. Today, 1,400 people will go and get tested. So that's the staff members as well as the people that were attending the concert, and we have to see how that goes. So we are possibly on the brink of the fourth wave of COVID in Iceland, after being quite incredible when it comes to it. So I'm hoping that this will go as good as it can go, but I mean, we have our doubts, and this is just incredible bad luck, and reminds you like how incredibly complicated and just, I don't know, how boring this virus is. It really gets you somehow in the end, right? So that's the situation today. We hope that everything will go well. So we have we have two types of scenarios right now in Iceland. Either we have the activity and the volcano will go down and die, and we won't have to worry about it for the next 50 years, and we will not have the fourth wave, or we will have the fourth wave and the volcano will go off, and we'll possibly seeing a completely different kind of future in Reykjavik. I mean, it is what it is, right? Once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for everything, of course. Keep on like and subscribe if you want to, or hit the bell button, or just do whatever you want. It's not up to me. Go to grapevine.is and just be kind and be safe. Good. Hæ. Kasta aðeins. Já. Bara niður.